show a Archangel AAM1A precision stock installation on a Springfield rifle. I've got a couple of them here. I've got an M1 standard, M1A standard right here. They're clear, it's weapon safe to handle. And we've also got a Springfield Scout, also clear, safe to handle. Now these stocks have actually been installed for quite some time on these two rifles. So I've pulled one directly from stock here, and we're going to open this up and we're going to do an installation with no removal of material. If I do have to remove material, it'll be a little bit by the trigger pad, but I haven't had to do that on these actions before, so I think they're going to just drop right in. And I'll show you, if you do have to remove material, where it will normally be removed from. Okay. So this one's right out of stock, so this is actually a quality control check for us today too. So we know that our current production is going to be top quality. Okay. Stock comes with the instructions. Overall, checking this out, quality looks nice. Buttstock adjusts. Grip door functions. Looks very nice. Okay, so we'll begin. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our M1 standard here. Remove the trigger guard assembly, and I'm going to remove the action. Okay. So, got my barreled action here. You're going to use your stock handguard, and generally this is the way you do it. You want to hang the front of the action over this front section post, have it on a nice solid surface here, and I pull the action back with my right hand. And I see where it's lined up here, and I want to actually bed it. See how I did that? I pulled this back and it seated it around the front post. It actually flexes this metal piece here, if you can get in on that, Kenny. It flexes that metal point right there back and seats that, okay? Now at that point I can let the charging handle come back forward, and I've got my recoil lugs. Now it seems like it's a tight fit. It is. It's like that on purpose. This is a hygroscopic material. We design it to be tight. At this point, you don't want to baby it. You want to get on this thing and shove it in there. You want to push hard, and you're going to shove this action into the stock. It actually spreads the stock out a little bit, but you're going to get good contact everywhere on the stock like that. Now, you'll notice that there's a gap at the back of the action. That's designed into the stock to give you that tension that's required to get good accuracy out of this action. Okay, so what you do at this point is you look on the side here. The first time you install a trigger in one of these, sometimes it's a little bit tight, but you want to just go for it. You want to get it in there. There's a back notch. You're going to shove it in place. You're going to line your groove up for your trigger assembly. Okay, and then once you get it lined up, you're going to shove that guy in. You're going to make sure that that's bottomed out. It's all the way down in the assembly. Then you take these two halves and you shove them together and you hammer this home. Okay? That's locked in there. That's a solid. You can see now that the receiver's flat against the stock. Everything functions. Good to go. Now if you take this out and shoot it, you want to let it heat cycle a couple of times. And you should have a very accurate stock on your hands with no bedding required. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out. Okay. See, very tight. There we go. See, there's no dremeling, no machining, nothing required. If you got a Springfield action, more than likely you're going to be able to drop that straight in. Now, if you do have to remove any material, it's generally only from these two trigger pads and it's usually only a very tiny bit of material. And that's pretty common with these M1A stocks to make them fit. When you do a wood stock installation or anything, that's usually where you remove material to get the trigger pads to work and you get these lugs to seat correctly on your action. Okay, so now I'm going to take our Scout rifle, which is also another current production Springfield weapon. I'll remove its trigger guard, and remove it from its stock. And I'd also take this new stock that we just got out of the package. You notice no machining or anything. I'm going to set that over the front of that there. You can see that it's a tight fit. It won't come back. Don't dremel it. A lot of guys get straight into a dremel. Don't do it. Pull the action back. Seat it. Beds that sucker in there, and that way you have a good tight fit. Let your action come closed. Get on top of it. Shove it in. Give it a little force. You're going to have a nice bedded action like that without having to go to all the trouble for removing material and adding bedding compound. Okay? See here? You got your gap between the receiver and the action, or in the stock and the receiver, I mean. So that means that it's right. Come back around. Let's see. This is the Scout trigger here. I'm going to get this guy started on the side. Smoke it forward. Get the groove lined up. See, this is a pretty tight one, but that's good. There we go. So you see I'm shoving this trigger assembly in. Got to really push it in to get it to bed. You see there that that's flush. At this point, I squeeze it home. Snap it in. Got a Scout rifle correctly installed. Ready to rock. Everything works. So there you go. Easy drop in. These guys, if you're hitting it with a Dremel, you're doing it wrong. If you've got maybe a Chinese Action, a Norinco, or some other offshoot brand, you might have to do a little bit of machining, but that's pretty standard for these type of rifles. But if you got a Springfield, and then a lot of the standard actions, the Rock River, a lot of those, they go right in. So basically what you want to do is drop it in. If you have a problem, give us a call, but don't hit it with the Dremel first. Follow these instructions, it'll drop in, you'll have a good accurate stock.